Okay, we're gonna work out to a safe spot. Which locations? Let's see, the exit from the other day should be gone by now. So we're going to warp to that location. For scan down wormholes, Sister's combat probes are going to be the best. Combat probes are better than the other probes at scanning down wormholes, but the combat probes are better than the core. So I'm going to take that, let it load up. And yeah, Sisters and the Sister scan probe both have additional percentage to scan bonus. Okay, there's nothing here, nothing on our overview. Whenever you land, get up some speed. That way if someone scans you down, they're going to be warping to you at a distance and you have a better chance of getting away. So go ahead and start dropping off your probes. I have the skills to use 8. And you have a little over an hour before these probes expire, unless you pull them back into your cargo hold. Okay. Wait, one more. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Must have lost 8 the last time I used it. Okay, now we can cloak up while we probe. Keeps us safer, and we are unable to be scanned down when we probe. Then we want to switch directions. That way if someone did see us and they were cloaked up and came up on us, all they'd have to do is follow the same direction and maybe find us if we weren't moving. So yeah, we're going to change directions. We're not going to be able to see our ships for this. We're going to open up the scanner down here under your cargo. You can see the list of probes. They're all sitting at 8 AU, probe 1 through 8, in no order whatsoever. Okay, and then we're going to hit the map. Boom. Yeah, that should take us into our solar system screen that shows only our solar system. If we pull out the world map center, we can go back to star map and see the stars, which technically we're not in. I'll show you all the other solar systems. Okay, hit solar system map, go back again. Apparently I'm done downloading Wilfred. Awesome. Okay. Yes, we heard you. Okay, so we want to get so that everything's out of the way. We're going to take these arrows here, make them so that they're out of the way so that we don't actually pull up a whole menu of moons and planets. I'm going to grab onto these side arrows. We're at a top view right now. And we're going to move the arrows so that this arrow touches that one barely, and one beyond it. And we're going to go back in the other direction also. And then off to the sides. More than likely you probably won't have the skills for 8 yet, so just kind of do this as close as you can. If you can only run 4, then run 4 in every direction. Notice how it's empty in the middle. Basically, each probe you're trying to scan for where it's not. If all of these at a close range have what you're looking for within range, except for one, you know it's not in that area. Yeah, and you can see how they overlap, and it all figures out. But usually when you're scanning down a wormhole, most of the time they are within the first couple planets. You don't have to go all the way out. Just this little area, 8 AU, whatever. It's generally where they're going to be. Sometimes they're out in oddball places, but usually your static's going to be within the first couple planets there. Okay, so now we're going to hit the Scanalyze button there. Okay, you can see all these. These are cosmic anomalies. Well, I haven't done those yet, and we want those just gone. So we're going to select them all, click on the top one, hold down shift, scroll down to the bottom one, and we're going to ignore those results. Okay, what we have left are all these here. Usually the wormhole will show up with unknown, or it's going to be your greatest signal strength. Distance, you really can't tell which direction that's in, but as you select them, you can see that they're all in all these different objects. These could be ships, it could be seeing the POS, it could be seeing almost anything. But we're more concerned with the group type unknown. Okay. We want to shrink it down one size. We don't want to shrink it all the way down just because we see that spot. If you go into multiple different directions, that's just the nearest spot it has calculated out to where it could be. Okay, we shrink it down, we center it on that spot, both vertically, horizontally, and diagonally, whatever that means. And we're going to scan again. Okay, got all the others there. We don't want to ignore those yet, just in case this is not the right wormhole. Sometimes we have several wormholes, so let's go ahead and center on it again. You can see those green crosshairs when you're moving it around. And we're going to take that, and if you're holding down shift, you can bring up the whole group. You hold down alt, and you can bring them in a bit. So like that. And we're going to shrink it down one more here. Oop, there it goes. And we're going to shrink into distance. Grab onto it. So notice how this edge right here is not going over the destination that we're looking for. That's just kind of show that only 1 or 2 or 4 probes out of the 8 can find it, narrowing down the exact area. Okay, we're going to hit scan again. We're at 48.45%. Oh, now we're at 85%. And notice in the area that we are scanning, there's only one other signal, just right there, which we could scan for later, but still looking for this. So we're going to hold down shift and shrink them down again. Okay, and then we're going to hold down alt, squeeze them together, and if you double click on the probe without touching anything else where it says the probe name, it will center on the screen on that probe. Okay, let's see, I want to get the probe centered. Squeeze that down just a little bit, and we can see right here under type it is an unstable wormhole. Shrink this down a little more. Center it. Side to side. Yeah. And we'll go ahead and scan again. 83%. Okay, we're now at 100%. Notice the range is at 1 AU. Sometimes you'll have to take it down smaller depending on your skills. We have now located it because it says signal strength is 100% and it went from yellow to green. So we're going to right click on it and we're going to warp to. We're going to warp to within 20. Sometimes there's hostiles sitting on the hole and you don't want to decloak. Well, actually you're going to have to decloak to warp if you do not have the skills to have the covert ops cloaking device. We're going to hit our map again. And our ship's already in warp because we told it to warp there. And yeah, with the covert ops cloaking device, you can warp while cloaked. You just decloak before you jump, or if you get within 2K of any other object. Okay, we have the wormhole. Wormhole number says U210. In RC3, that is our current static. We're going to right click, show info. And right here it says wormhole leads into low sec. That is what our static is a low sec static. This wormhole is beginning to decay, probably won't last another day. Wormhole has not yet had its stability significantly disrupted by ships passing through it. It will say different words depending on the status of the wormhole, so always look at that first. Sometimes it'll say end of life. That means at any moment now, from the moment it goes end of life, EOL in other words, it can disappear as you pass through it. So we're going to approach, and we're also going to save location. Wormhole, we're going to go with exit, and we're going to go down to today's date, 5/7. We already have a 5/7, so we're going to go 5/7. Oops. Exit new 5/7. Just something different. Make sure it's under the corporate locations folder. Hit submit. Okay, before we go through the wormhole, we're going to want to recover active probes, otherwise we will lose contact with them. We can regain contact with them, but we might want to scan on the other side, if it were a different type of wormhole. Oh, and now as you can see, they're all back in my folder. Stack all, that way they're easier to put back into the probe launcher. It's going to take 10 seconds, but since we're almost about to jump through, we don't have enough time for them to load. So, enter wormhole. We don't need the scanner anymore. Somebody's in court. Okay, we are now in the system here. We're going to save the other side. Save location. Home new 5-7. Corporate location. Submit. Boom. Now we can check. As it says Amar at the top, Empire, we're going to check our distance to Amar. I'm going to select Autolink Solar System. Set destination, we are 9 jumps. Local, nobody here. And there we go. Good on,